Hello and welcome to another episode of Clash of Clans with Wolf 18. Today we're going to go into my speed build of a custom base that I made. It's more of like a base I've had and I ended up just redesigning it. And I ended up getting the base from my friend Seth. And later on I found out that he actually got that from YouTube. I don't know the name of the YouTuber, so I'm sorry man, I can't give you credit for it because I don't remember your name. But yeah, I ended up just taking that base and I'm editing it into my own version of this base. And it's going to take me a little while to edit it, the correct way I wanted it, because I ended up making a few mistakes in this video. So that's why it ended up taking a 45-minute video, and I'm going to have to shorten this into a 15-minute video. And this is for a Town Hall 9 base. It's really hard for me to find Town Hall 9 bases that are good, so that's why I ended up making my own speed build one. But anyways, this part in the little core right here with these air sweepers, I envisioned it, and it took me a while to figure out how to lay it out. So yeah, bear with me on this core right here. Alright, so now we're getting to that second part of my core, which is another part I was having a little bit of trouble with, which is where my clan castle and then those Teslas are. Alright, so right about here, I actually realized that my core doesn't look right. But then I go, maybe if I add a few more pieces around, I can kind of fix the problem. So right now I'm dropping the, Archer Queen and the King. And then I'm putting down some more defenses to see if I can figure out what my problem is. I didn't want those rockets there because they're too close to the other rockets. So I put the wizard towers there. And then now we're moving on to the rockets. My two other rockets. So right now I got my air sweepers. I'm clicking on check their ranges. And then I'm putting in the rockets within those ranges to make sure they're there. But I also realized a little bit later that I remember them rushing my base. Even though I had two max air sweepers, they were able to rush the defenses and take them all out. So I ended up moving those a little bit later in the video when I remembered. Alright, so right about here I realized my core problem. So I ended up editing it and moving some of the walls around. Just move that rocket a little bit further up so I can have space to put a Teslas there. And then I'm also going to end up moving, those a little bit around so I can pull my my clan castle up a little bit closer, and then put Teslas down at the south end. And then I realized I can't put my double big bomb trap there, so I gotta do some more editing for that. So now we're moving some of those things around a little bit so I can get my double big bomb trap in there that I like. I really like having the double big bomb trap in the core, is just because if they hit you with hog riders, it's almost impossible to avoid that. So that's one of the main reasons why I like that. Alright, so now the core is starting to look a lot better now. So we're just going to have to, put in my skeleton traps really quick for that part. And we'll go up to the top and try to fix some of that stuff up there. So I'm dropping my cannon there, and I'm going to try to, put that in a complete compartment by itself. And the reason is because sometimes, troops might just pass that up, and then it can sit there and just continue to fire. Not all the time, because, wizards and archer tower, or not archer towers, but archer queen can easily shoot over that. But sometimes it does help. Alright, so this part right here, I actually ended up taking these archer towers out and building them inside their own compartment. It's not even in this video, I ended up doing it a little bit later. So, yeah. I also ended up having a dark elixir at the top. So what happened is that the dark elixir was in its own little core, and since it's not an actual defense, I don't really want it by itself. So I ended up putting the archer towers inside that compartment with the dark elixir. But later on, you'll find out, when I ended up doing that. I think that was towards the end of this video. Alright, and right about here is when I actually realized that I just have too many defenses up top and nothing to stop them or slow them down. So I ended up taking those mortars out and I put my elixir storages there to slow them down. And then the next part right here is the enclosure of these wizard towers and the archer queen and king. Alright, and right about here I'm contemplating on what I should be building next. And then it just dawns on me that, I'll just build the, I want to say the Galadon, trap. But, Galadon didn't even like the base that, had it. I just copied it from, one of the guys that was featured inside that video that he had. And I thought it was a great base. So, yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've been pretty much copying that design, which is what you're seeing right here, where you have 3 defenses, a little, builder's hut, and then you're going to put big bombs in there or spring traps. But I ended up reversing that. I got to flip the gold mines with the mortars really quick to get it to work properly. And then I'll put spring traps on the other side, and then flip the cannon with the the mortar with the storage. And now you can see how that's a pretty effective double big bomb trap. To really defend against those hog riders, because I use Goho a lot, and yeah, that's pretty devastating. And then I also ended up flipping the expos with the wizard towers. And the reason behind that one is because I want the expos to survive a little bit longer, so I don't want them in the same compartment as the town hall. Also, I want the wizard towers, more in the core, so that they can, help defend against the rage wall breakers and blowing up a bunch of my walls. So that forces you to use jump spells. And then the jump spells basically, just take up, more space inside your spells. So that's, my logic behind it, at least. And then right here, I'm actually in the process of building my other, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe Galadon's trap or Galadon's base he doesn't like trap. I guess, yeah. And now we're building some of those mortars up. I still gotta put those spring traps in those though. I got a bunch of storages on the south side. I'll end up moving that, dark elixir storage up top, though I don't have enough storages up top anyway. And I don't like the rockets, so I'm gonna end up moving those rockets. And right here, I'm trying to figure out where to put them. Yep, still contemplating. Alright, now we're moving the rockets with the cannons. But now they're just a little too exposed. But we're gonna put the spring traps down first because I didn't do that earlier, like I was telling you. Alright, now we got the mortars that cover good range, archer towers. This spot right here was a pain in the ass for me to figure this crap out. And nothing fit until I figured it out a little bit later to use the labyrinth to put it there. Yep, so we're still playing with that bottom core. Right about here I realized that I can put 2 things there, so I ended up putting the both the spell factories there. That's temporary though. So I'm moving some of the stuff around to see if, maybe I can do something else with it, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. So then I just kind of give up on it and then move to the top where I was talking about, where I got that dark elixir up top, and I wanted to have more storages up there. Now I come back down here, try to figure out that. There we go. I figured out the rockets were too close to the outside. I need those buried a little bit more. So now that's good. Also in this video, I ended up tilting these, air sweepers so that they can better cover both of the rockets. And then I flipped the cannons with the mortars. Just to get a little bit more mortar cover. Then I moved the cannons down to the south side. Which is kind of funny because at the beginning of the video, the mortars were right next to where they were now. I mean, they were right where the whatchamacallit is. The elixir storage is up there. And then right here I found out, yay, I figured it out. Put the labyrinth in them little builder's hut down there, and it works. So next is the little bombs. Put some big little bombs, I'm sorry, next to the wizard tower. I really like to stack splash damage, and that's one of the reasons why I ended up moving the wizard towers with the cannons. I don't really like having wizard towers with spring traps anyway. And then I ended up putting all my big bombs down there, and the reason why I do that is because hopefully all of the balloons clump up on those wizard towers, and then it just vaporizes them. And then now I just built that enclosure for that. And like I said, I ended up editing that a little bit later. I didn't actually do it in the video, but I took those two archer towers that are closest to it, and then I put those in the same compartment with the storage. And then right here I ended up dumping the last two pieces of wall that I have. And then now we're just building, all the trash buildings around the edges, putting them 2 spaces apart, just so I can maximize, the distance that they have to go. A little bit more trash buildings on the outside. Now I got 2 of each type of trash building left. Alright, just got rid of all my trash buildings. Now I just got my American flag, which I'll just dump at the top. And now I gotta figure out where to put these air-seeking mines, which wasn't that complicated. And looks like we're all done. Alright, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to add me online. My ID is JawWolf18. And then in the top left, go ahead and click on my name. It'll take you to my page. If you want to go ahead and click on Go Wee Wee and learn how to use Go Wee Wee, that's in the bottom left. On the bottom right is actually a Town Hall 8 Village build that I have. And then the top right is my Go Wipe Ho that I was telling you about inside when I was building the base. That's a tech I use a lot.